Okay, these next two questions are going to deal with the standard form of a parabola. So it says find the vertex. Well, first off, if I go to our standard form, this is the formula for standard form where HK is the actual vertex. And notice the H is like an inside liar. Let's just go right up here and look at our problem. Notice we have the x minus 5 squared is exactly like this other, so we can match up some of these colors here. So I know this, the H would be 5, and the K would be 3, and that's the vertex. Because remember that our it's kind of an inside liar for the horizontal shift. So that means my answer would be letter what? B. That's all I had to do on this one to find the vertex. Right? Let's kind of work one very similar to this. This time it says find the standard form of the quadratic equation. And notice it has this nice graph here. And it goes through the point 0, 3, but the vertex is at 1, 0. So what that means is, I know this, that 1 would go right there with H, and the K would be 0. So that means I wouldn't have a K, so it tells me this here. My answer has to have an x minus 1 in it to the quantity squared. So I know it's not C, D, or E. The only thing I have to determine is whether it's what? A or B. And so what I'm going to do next is this. I kind of know this here. If it was 1, it would have moved over 1, up 1, because what's 1 squared? 1 times 1 is 1. I have a feeling it's going to be 3 because this one's over 1 and up 3. All right? Because when I multiply 3 times 1, I do get 3. But let's do this here. Let's just go find out for sure. Here's what I know. I know I have a value that y is 3, x is 0. Here. Put that 0 here. This is the x value from right here, 1, and that's my 0 from right there, and I'm going to solve. Well, first off, that 0 is not going to do anything to it. And that minus 1, 0 minus 1 is negative 1, which I'm going to then square, which makes a positive 1, which I don't have to write. So that means 3 equals A, so that means my answer would definitely be choice B. The other thing that we can do on this right here would be to go to our nice calculator, and we can look at it and test it out. Here, got to turn it on first. Turn on my y equals. And let's put in this equation right here, 3. And I can type in the parentheses. And I can do x minus 1, parentheses. Oops, I didn't get my minus 1 in there. So what I love about this here, I can correct my mistakes very easily. Now I've got a what? Squared. All right? And I'm going to arrow out. And I really don't need to put plus 0, it's not even written there, so let's just hit graph. And let's look at it, and it does look like that right there. It doesn't quite go through 1. And let's hit our little zoom feature, and let's zoom in and see if we can kind of see a little bit better. See, it definitely doesn't go through 1. You can kind of tell it goes right up in there. So there we go. Let's put it back on our standard form for our next graph there. So for our next problem. Anyway, there is quadratic. The standard form is a big part of that particular equation.